I'm often asked what Wall of Grace Ministries does. Basically, we follow the teachings of Galatians 6 and 10. It says, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially them of the household of faith.
The program, the Missions Outreach Program, which is known as the Wall of Grace. It's a tremendous program because it meets the needs of God's older men or God's ill men and their wives, and it's just such a blessing to so many. And we know something of that ourselves, and we appreciate the Wall of Grace, and we recommend it to those that would be interested in the kind of service that it renders to God's saints.
And so we help pastors, evangelists, missionaries, financially in various ways. I do financial counseling. All of this comes free to them.
Many men of God today are hurting, facing a lot of trials and battles within their lives. I'm so glad to be a part of Wall of Grace Ministries as an executive director in Wall of Grace, but also Wall of Grace comes under a wing of Grace Baptist Church, Camden, Tennessee, where I'm pastor. Brother Fred Morris has been a close friend of mine for several years. Our church has supported Wall of Grace. I've watched as it has helped a lot of men stay in the battle and in the fight serving the Lord, and I'm thanking the Lord today just to be able to be a part of such a great ministry of God and how God uses this ministry.
The pastor in our association had a stroke. The same day he'd had a stroke, his wife got the news from her doctor that she had breast cancer. They had gone through a lot of struggle health-wise, and I called Brother Fred at the Wall of Grace, and he immediately sent a letter of encouragement and along with some assistance for him. And it was comforting to me to know that there was someone I could call that would help out. And I thank Brother Fred and the Wall of Grace Ministry for that.
I was in deep financial need, needed a vehicle fixed, needed tires on it. We were having difficulty paying for our drugs. We were in a bad fix. And a friend of mine, an evangelist, Brother David Parker, told me that he had a friend and a group that had helped him. And I received a call from Brother Fred Morris. And after a bit, he and I both wept over the telephone. He sent me a check that not only repaired all the bad things on my truck, but he also has been sending a check since that time to help me with drugs or any extraneous expense I might have.
It's my joy today to recommend to churches, pastors, Christians, anywhere and everywhere, this tremendous ministry where every dollar that's given is dispensed to meet someone's need that's in a very hard situation. It's worthy of prayer and worthy of your financial support. I wholeheartedly recommend it.
Wall of Grace Ministries was born in the heart of Brother Fred Morris. We operate under the auspices of Grace Baptist Church in Camden, Tennessee. Wall of Grace Ministries is committed to helping others stay on the wall by providing financial assistance, counseling, and coaching to faithful pastors, evangelists, and missionaries who we find in a crucial financial situation. Contributions to the Wall of Grace Ministries come from concerned individuals and from church offerings, and also from the Wall of Grace annual conference that takes place at Grace Baptist Church in Camden, Tennessee.
You're my father, I'm the clay, and you're the pot. let me say that our lives are indelible records written upon the records of time. That record, once we've written it down, is unchangeable and unalterable.
Pastor Fred Morris is a graduate of Dave Ramsey's Certified Financial Counseling School. He is trained in financial counseling, negotiating with creditors, bill collectors, and hospitals to reach lower settlements and write-offs. He offers his service free of charge to preachers.
So I would count it a real joy to be able to encourage anybody to get involved in the ministry, to be a part of it, to send your gifts to Wall of Grace, knowing that every penny that you give will go to helping somebody that needs that gift.
I highly recommend this ministry to anyone who has a desire to see God's men supported financially. It's one of those ministries that you can have absolute confidence that the support that you give will be used for that ministry totally.
My wife and I together been able to walk together for about 77 years, hand in hand, through the valleys and the mountaintops. She's gone on to be with the Lord. And I have an outreach printing ministry now that I'm involved in, and it gives me something to do while I'm waiting to go home to be with her. And the Wall of Grace ministry has been a wonderful help to me and my wife while she was down with a stroke. And even before that, the Wall of Grace ministry put me on a set of tires on my car and done mechanical work on my car. And I know while my wife was down with a stroke for 12 years, our dryer played out. They put me a new dryer in, and when my wife died, they helped me with funeral expenses. I've been blessed tremendously through the Wall of Grace ministry.
And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease, whilst I leave it and come down to you? Should the Lord lead you to be a part financially of this much-needed ministry, you may send your contributions to Wall of Grace Ministries, 2051 Cedar Street, McKenzie, Tennessee, 38201. That's Wall of Grace Ministries, 2051 Cedar Street, McKenzie, Tennessee, 38201.
Only time and eternity will be able to really unveil all of the effectiveness and power that God has generated through this ministry and the heart of Brother Fred Morris.